Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Snippy Joker, and on today's episode we continue our lineup with healers and look into the character Adam Warlock. Now Adam Warlock can be considered, I wouldn't say controversial, but problematic. If you've ever watched streamers like Tim the Tatman or Ninja, they have their opinions about Adam Warlock as being a soul healer. He does a lot of damage, but being a soul healer may not be the best for Adam Warlock, and his ult, if not played right, can piss off a lot of teammates. But before we get into that, let's go into his movements, his abilities, his attacks, and of course what his ult actually does. So his attack is pretty basic. It's a magical shot that comes out of his staff that can hit, do damage to enemies. I don't remember if it healed allies right now. I'm pretty sure it healed allies. No, I don't think it does. I think it just does damage. But it's a very basic one-shot attack. Boom, boom. Nothing really special about it. But his first ability is kind of cool and is very unique to many of the healers that we have. It is a healing link, and what that means is if you press R1 on the PlayStation controller, you heal not only yourself but everyone around you. It like passes through them kind of like a ray of life. But of course you have to be next to Adam Warlock and within a certain distance for it to work. And you can do it twice before it has to recharge back into, be able to be used again. Which is why Adam Warlock can't be a single healer. Because one of the few ways he can heal has to be recharged, and you have to wait for it to come back. It's great because you can do group healing as long as everyone's close to each other because it's like a link. But you have to wait for it to get back to 1 to use it again and wait for it to recharge, which can be annoying. His other move is called Soul Bond, which is again another unique move that I find pretty cool. And you soul bond with everyone that's within range. And if that person is taking damage, the damage is shared amongst everyone else. So if you soul bond with a Groot, a Mantis, and maybe a Doctor Strange, if Doctor Strange is taking damage, like physical damage, it's shared between the other characters, so you're not taking as much or the full brunt of that damage, which I find pretty cool. His next ability is a charged up magical shot that is kind of like a rapid fire, which can be hard to shoot if you're not aiming. But the cool part about it is I don't have the best aim. I understand that. I accept my faults. But if you charge up and shoot it, you can aim your shots into that character. So if you don't get all 5 or 6 shots, you may get 1, 2, kind of like what I did here, 1 or 2, maybe 3. And it's powerful enough that if you do it in consecutive ways, if you get all the shots at once, it will take a character out. That's why I consider Adam Warlock more of a damage healer than an actual healer. His next ability and one of his last is Cocoon, or I call it Cocoon. And if Adam Warlock is killed in battle, he can float away, and you have like maybe 5-6 seconds, maybe a little bit more, float away, find a spot, and resurrect himself to put himself back into the battle. Now this has a very large cooldown. I think it was about 104 seconds before you can use it again. But you can use it again if the cooldown is done. Now his ult. His ult is called, or he yells out, Born Again. And what that means is if you have recently died, or if one of your teammates has died, or one of your teammates is about to die, if Born Again is active, you come back to life in that area. But you don't come back fully healed, you come back, I believe, with a specific amount of health, which can be a good thing. But if you're in the middle of a battle and you come back at a specific amount of health without any heals, it isn't going to work well. Now, he does have a really cool synergy with Mantis and Star-Lord, where if Mantis or Star-Lord goes down, they do have the same ability as Adam Warlock to resurrect themselves, float away, maybe 8-9 seconds, float away, and resurrect themselves like he does. And I think as a team-up, having Mantis as another healer along with Adam Warlock, both of them have the ability to come back, is a very good team-up for healing characters on your team. Now let's go out and figure out how I play. Now I've only played Adam Warlock maybe once before this gameplay in like the beta. I love the healing link. I used it mostly when I was in danger or when I was around my teammates and felt that they were in danger. Yes, it does have a cooldown. Yes, you can use it up to 2 times before it goes into a cooldown. But again, use it wisely because you can't rapid fire it. You can't use it like you would a cloak and dagger or a Luna Snow or, you know, an invisible one where you heal and you can heal over time or you can heal rapidly. You do have to wait for that cooldown. But the positive to it is you're healing multiple people at once as long as they're next to each other. Soul Bond is another cool one, but only works well if you're doing it with multiple characters. If you're just doing it with you and one other, it's not going to work as well because then both of you are going to take heavy damage. Here's the cocoon right here. Pretty much I had a couple of seconds. I chose a spot where I'm out of the danger and I brought myself back to life because it's not instant. You do have about 8 or 9 seconds to float away like I did, find a spot around a corner or out of a heavy traffic and where there's a lot of action, and to basically come back to life to help your team. That is one of the pros to having Adam Warlock, is you're not going all the way back if you can time this revival right. But like I was saying before with Soul Bond, use it with multiple characters so that the damage is shared across multiple people, so it's not shared across 2, and the damage affected by those characters is less. And then of course with the charge shot, like I was saying before, it is hard to use or get all 6 shots done at once if you don't have as good as aim as, well, if you have bad aim like me, right? So use it, you know, charge it up, use it as much as you can, and if you miss all the shots, you miss all the shots. Try to get 2 or 3. Try to lead the character. Try to, you know, maybe don't charge it up all the way, but no, charge it all the way. Charge it to its fullest. Use everything you can. Again, I was taking out characters, no problem. I may not have hit 100%, but you're still going to do a good amount of damage and help your teammates out. You know, and we already gone over the cocoon. Now, the Born Again is probably the most controversial thing. If you're going to use Born Again, please, for the love of God, use it when most of your team is down, and use it in an area where you have a couple seconds for your teammates to be revived, and you can heal them with the healing link quickly. And pray that one of those people you're reviving is a healer, or bring another healer with you. Please don't do it in the middle of the battle. It is the most frustrating thing to be brought back, only to be killed again. But tell me your thoughts on Adam Warlock. Do you like Adam Warlock? Do you hate Adam Warlock? Are you an Adam Warlock fan and or main? Tell me your special combos and techniques with Adam Warlock. Because honestly, I found him to be fun and really kind of changed my mind on who I would choose as a healer if the top 2 healers that I like aren't available. Because honestly, I really did like Adam Warlock. I loved his abilities, and I feel like his damage is spot on. So, appreciate all the love and support on these videos. Sub to help me grow. Like the video so YouTube likes me. And of course, check out Snippy Joker Shorts. Check out my TikTok. Check out my Instagram. Check out my Twitter. Follow me all on there. All under Snippy Joker. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.